Ladies and gents, it's a beautiful day. How we doing today, people? Welcome. I can't believe Devil Leon 7 fucking sold out. I know, right? How could he? Okay, it looks like streaming to Twitch is actually successful. Let's go. Okay. I'm gonna assume the quality is limited to 1080p for you guys on YouTube, right? There's no 2K? That might be a small price to pay, but I figured multi-streaming would be really, really good. So I think I'm gonna stick to that, actually. So unfortunately, it's goodbye for 2K for you guys, and it's hello multi-streaming for your boy Devil Leon 7. Hey guys, how we doing? Hello, it's me, the guy who plays Ryuga Gotoku. Yo, Isaac, thank you for the 25 months, buddy. Thank you. Always a pleasure. And I think there was someone else. Yeah, NikoJazz for the 24 months. That's 2 years. And Isaac is above 2 years now. Thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate it. You look great today. Buddy, you look great. Even though I can't see you. But you look great in chat. How you doing? You know what's the problem with multi-streaming? I think I said this before, but you know, if you choose to stream only on YouTube, you actually have better quality. And it's not because like, oh, Twitch versus YouTube. It's literally, YouTube has this like method of encoding that's exclusive for like high-end NVIDIA RTX cards, and I happen to have one of those. And Twitch doesn't have that yet, so... Your hair, so fast, so healthy. I know, right? I look just like Leon S. Kennedy. Hey, why is Leon doing the new Game Theory pose in the thumbnail? I never even noticed. The last time I watched the Game Theory video was like 5 years ago, maybe, if not even more. Do we have better bitrates? If I do the YouTube only streaming, yes, YouTube has way better bitrate. Like, you really notice it with games that have a lot of effects. So, the Yakuza games are one example. The Trails games are another example. So things look way less blurry. But now, we're back to Blur City, baby. But thankfully the game we're playing today does not have a lot of blur, so there's that going for it. I wish I could incorporate both YouTube and Twitch chat in one spot over there, but I can't, I don't think. I saw somebody doing it, but I don't know if I can. Also, thank you, Mr. Devil03, for the 30 months. 2 years and a half. Thank you. Thank you. I love how Isaac is both in YouTube and also Twitch. The ultimate supporter. Thank you, buddy. Oh yeah, good job on... did I mention this or no? Good job on releasing that big-ass video. I haven't seen it yet, but it looks like a lot of effort went into it. You can put it under the YouTube chat or over it. We could, but then I'm afraid it might take a little too much space. Let's see. I might just keep it on the second monitor for myself to look at. About chat, there we go. Let's bring that over here. And there is Twitch chat. You're gonna play in the new art style or the pixel art style? That's an excellent question. I actually don't know. I have no idea. I forgot that that was a thing even, but... Which one are we feeling more, fellas? Pixel art style? Or the new, smooth art style? Yo, One Man Cast, thank you for the 10 months, buddy. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Okay, man, it's been a while since I multi-streamed on Twitch. Like, a long, long time. I think the last thing was the Gaiden update, which was almost a year ago. Okay, anyway. New art style first. Pixel, second playthrough. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. Today, we're gonna be doing only the first case. I said this on Discord, but this is gonna be a short stream. The past few days, I have been thinking of streaming something, but unfortunately, I pulled a muscle in my lower back, and that limited my movement by a lot, so I couldn't. And I focused on that video that I've been talking about for like a couple weeks now. Both, so we don't get dropped by the sponsors for not showing the game off. Yeah, we'll do both. I'm much better now, thank you. Okay, stop the music and start the game. How about that? Alright, Ace Attorney Investigations, here we come. Who in the chat loves Edgeworth? Okay, let's bring the camera, let's bring chat. And let's wait for the game to start. Please don't jump scare us with audio. Okay, the audio is not that bad. Let me decrease it a little bit, though, just in case. Down to 30. I think 30 is okay. Okay. Health warning. That barely even lasted a second. Couldn't read that. Okay, let's... Need to fix the... Man, the UI looks so fucking good. English. Privacy policy? Bruh. No, I'm good. Okay. Guys. Okay, so... Borderless and... Here we are, fellas. I don't think I want to change anything else. Look at that. God damn. Gyat, if I may. Actually, let me increase the game sound. There we go. I think now it's more balanced. Yo, One Man Cast, thank you for the super chat, buddy. My guy, it's still on the loading screen. Yeah. Yeah, we are. Man, this port looks amazing. It's insane. Like, it looks better than the Apollo trilogy and even the first trilogy. Okay, I guess we're going with HD for now. It's like the new thing, so... And then we can try the Pixel one as well. Arranged soundtrack. Wait, arranged? Is it like super different or like how different are we talking? Because I have no idea. I'm gonna go with original. You guys have to listen to the original soundtrack. Wait, what? What about the Great Ace Attorney? Better than that? I didn't play that, to be honest, but I heard it's so good. Though I did play these two games, and I can tell you, they're peak. They are peak, especially the second one. It's the same, but they're in different order. Alright, well, welcome everybody! Welcome, Ace Attorney Investigations, the collection dropped today. They're the Edgeworth games. There's two games. And as I was just saying, the second Edgeworth game is peak. The first one is good, but the second one, hoochie mama. So, if you're thinking of getting on this franchise, what are you waiting for? Get this game. It's amazing. This stream is also possible thanks to Capcom for providing a code. And yeah, this is a sponsor. So thank you, Capcom. I love this franchise, and you giving me that opportunity is very, very much appreciated. Now let's do this. Title selection. Hell yeah, dude. Okay, We're gonna be doing the first game, of course. Look at that. Turnabout Visitor, Episode 1. Achievement unlocked. For playing with the HD chibi characters. Okay, I'll take it. Living the high life, getting paid to play Peak. Nice. I'm actually not getting paid. Though, you might consider the game to be the payment. To make sure the defendant is found guilty, what other choice do I have? That's the job of a prosecutor, after all. That may be true, but why? Why go this far? Sorry, maybe I wasn't clear enough, but a guilty verdict is all that matters to me. No matter what the cost. Uh-oh. Look at this asshole. Goofy ass haircut. I'm a prodigy among prosecutors. Always have been, always will be. March 14, 2 a.m., Prosecutor's Building, 12th floor. Yo, nice, Tomodrome. Hope you had fun with it. Have they ported every Ace Attorney to modern consoles? I think so. Almost all of them at this point. Yo, Tybell, thank you for the 10 months. Straight up edging my worth right now, he says. Same, buddy. عليكم السلام علي هلا شو اخبارك? Damn, look at that. It's hard to believe that I've been away from my office for a whole month. I hope Detective Gumshoe has been keeping an eye on my office and keeping it clean. Poor guy. The door is unlocked. Detective Gumshoe? What's the smell? It's very familiar. Blood? The expression looks really good. What the? What's the meaning of this? Freeze. Don't move a muscle, Buster. Identify yourself. Shut up. You got some nerve committing a murder in a prosecutor's office. Is that a threat? Let me make one thing very clear. What? No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one. Look at that. Just like that, Edgeworth drove him off. My name is Miles Edgeworth. And I work as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad, I would be thrusted into a multitude of cases and some very frantic and busy days. Alright, this is not even an hour after he arrived. I finished photographing the victim's body, sir. Very well, please continue your investigation. Yes, sir. What? Mr. Edgeworth, sir, are you okay, sir? Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene. When I heard that a murder had taken place in your office, I ran up here straight away. Gumshoe, my beloved, look at him. HD Gumshoe. This is Dick Gumshoe. He's a detective with the local precinct. And the one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being. You're looking a little pale, sir. Are you hurt? No, I'm perfectly fine. However... look what they did to your office. It's totally trashed. I'll say, the culprit sullied my floor with dirt rather well. No one gets away with trucking mud into my office. Well, it sounds like you're getting really burned up over this whole thing. This crime was committed in my office, so it is my responsibility to solve it. That's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, time to do some investigating. Agreed. Our first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. We're gonna solve this case with facts and logic, okay? Pay attention. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we are to find the truth. So I'll keep any leads or information we find etched in the forefront of my mind. Speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office? I get the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in mind. Yeah, I was wondering that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it's just a coincidence, can you? No, not really. Especially because of this. The key to your office... Oh. So this mechanic... I mean, I think it's not too hard to figure out, but... When you're on, like, a scene of a crime, you get these pieces, right? And you combine the ones that are relevant to reach a conclusion that might enlighten you, if you will. What do you mean, sir? If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you. Yeah, use logic, Gumshoe. Logic? What's that? By finding the connection between two pieces of information and connecting them, and new information is born. That is the end result of using logic. So how do you use logic? First, I'll recall the information we gathered with Q. Press Q, Gumshoe, right now. And then connect them together with T. You heard that? Press Q and then press T. Mr. Edgeworth, what the fuck are you talking about? Now to use Q and find and recall the facts. Okay. Crime scene, my office, and the office key. For security reasons, all prosecutors' doors are outfitted with locks. Which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss the location of this crime as mere coincidence. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, sir. There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after? That's another puzzle piece. Yeah, the UI looks clean for this game, I love it. See, that's how you use logic, people, and don't you forget it. You're really on the ball today, Mr. Edgeworth. That's some beautiful logic, sir. Yes, well, when you follow leads to their conclusion, only the truth remains. However, if the information doesn't line up properly, I may stray far from the truth as well. So you gotta be careful. Probably save your game before you actually piece together something. Yeah, press Q, just like in real life. Works every time. But if I think carefully before piecing leads together, the logic should flow. Well, let's get started with our investigation, shall we? Yes, sir. Nice. The basis of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir. I know that. And when I want to examine something, I simply use space when I'm next to it, okay? Space, don't forget that. Oh, if you ever feel lost and want to talk, just use T, okay? I'll give you great, precise advice as an ace investigator, sir. Something to try later if I have the free time, I suppose. Okay. Okay, you can use the arrow keys, and you can also use the mouse. Your files are all over the floor, sir. They probably fell during the struggle between the victim and the killer. Oh, I tried so hard to keep this place spotless while you were away. I mean, this just rendered all the time and effort I put in pointless. I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room. Well, I watered the flowers every day, just like you requested, sir. I just added cleaning to the list as a weekend special. For about half a day every Saturday, I'd come in and clean this place until it sparkled. Does he have a life? Okay, didn't Edgeworth say, I hope, like, Gumshoe kept the room clean? Come on, Edgeworth. Make up your mind. They finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine this area. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. This is a sentence you'll hear like 200 times throughout this game, so get used to it. What do we have here? Hey, I think I've seen one of these before. A wallet. Yeah, I think I've seen one. It's a police badge, detective. Oh, my bad. Oh, hey, I have the exact same thing, actually. What a coinkadinka. Let's take a look inside. Mr. Buddy Faith. That's the same name as the fan translation, I think, right? Pretty sure it is. It would appear that our victim was a detective, just like you. By the way, I'm pretty sure this guy's face was based on like an employee that was working on the game, if I remember right. It was either the face or the... I don't think it was the name, I think it was the face. Oh yeah, I forgot. How could I forget? Thank you, Nico. I completely forgot about that. I don't know who he's based on, but I think he was based on someone. Let's see here. There's blood all over his lower abdominal area. For Buddy, for Faith. He's a double Yakuza reference. It looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir. In other words, he was shot. Yep, and until the autopsy's done, I don't think we'll know much more than that. Please have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene. Are you gonna be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir? Of course, this is the safest way I know to keep track of it all. Alright, if you say so. I keep all the evidence I find either in or with my organizer. When I want to re-examine a piece, I have but to press E to open my organizer. But the organizer isn't only for evidence I keep... isn't only for evidence. I keep people's profiles on hand in it too. Right. It's probably a good idea to make a habit of checking the facts often. I don't believe it. I packed those files on the shelves so tight that not even an earthquake could make them fall off, but just look at them. At this rate, the rest of the files won't be able to withstand an earthquake at all. A problem, to be sure. Well, once the investigation is over, we'll put them back up on the shelf. I guess they're not gonna talk about the blood yet. I think that's it for now. But yeah, as you guys can see, especially for those of you who haven't played the franchise, this game is unique compared to the others in that you actually can move around and look at stuff. The Phoenix Wright trilogy is just a visual novel for the most part. Yo, Maple. Hell yeah, thank you, thank you. Now, logically, should he be allowed to investigate this crime scene? Of course. Everything's gonna be alright as long as you use logic. What have we here? Could this perhaps be the murder weapon? If so, it would mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of their gun here. I think I've seen one of these before. Really? No. Care to enlighten me as to where? Oh, I know! I was issued the exact same model, I think. Detective. I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. But now that I think about it, you do see this model around the precinct a lot, sir. I don't use mine much, except in emergency, so that's why I didn't recognize it. So it's the same type of revolver as the ones used by this precinct's detectives. Okay. I seem to have gathered a few pieces of pertinent information. Now to calmly use some logic and figure out if any of them are connected to each other. Revolver, and the victim was a detective. If this is wrong, It's not. The revolver, the standard model used by detectives. Could it have belonged to our recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time? Yes, sir. On it now, sir. Excuse me, pal. Let's see. What have we got here? Mr. Edgeworth, sir. This guy's wearing a gun holster. So it appears that our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. Let's see what else we can find out about this revolver. As I always say, you gotta look really carefully at each piece of evidence. You can use the up arrow, down arrow, right and left arrows to rotate an object. There's no such thing as a bad angle. Use Q and E to zoom in and get... zoom in and out to get the nitty-gritty. Okay. Let's check the chamber. Looks like only one round was fired from this. Wow, so the killer killed the Vic with just one shot after wrestling the gun from him? Sounds like the guy knew how to handle a gun, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? Now, we're not gonna be seeing Kiwami 3 for a very long time on the channel, guys. Like maybe a year. Alaikum assalam, hada khashmak. We have no proof for now, but that is a distinct possibility. I guess this is about all we're gonna find out. We should send the body to Ott... Jim! Oh why, oh why? How could this have happened to a guy like you? If it isn't the bitch himself. Are you alright? Don't touch me! Leave me alone! Just leave me be. Sorry, but I can't do that. The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body. The body? The body? Don't talk about him like he's just some lump of flesh. Look at him. Jim looks like he's just turned in for the night. Sure. Just in a blood-stained suit, pal. Where are my manners? Aren't you that prosecutor? Well, yes, I am. I'm Jago Portsman, prosecutor. Jim here was my partner in crime busting. I'm Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I'm also prosecutor. Detective Dick Gumshoe, sir. So you're Miles Edgeworth. I guess this is your office? Yes, that is correct. Then it was you. You're the one who killed Jim. Hey, don't go around jumping to conclusions, pal. Just calm down, okay? I will not. I know how things work around here. Our prosecutor's office doors all have locks built in them. And only the owner of the office has the key to his or her own office door. That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth has been overseas on a business trip this whole time, pal. And the key to the door was with me the entire time, okay? Uh-oh. So the only one who could get in here was me. Wait, that means... I'm not sure what that means. So it was you then. You're Jim's killer. No way, pal. You got it all wrong. Everyone calm down. Isn't it just pronounced Jack? Well, if it is, thank you, because I suck with names. It's refreshing to play as a prosecutor. Yeah, even though you basically just do the defense attorney's job the whole game. Leona's playing this game to become a lawyer. You know, when I was very young, this game did kind of make me look into becoming a lawyer, but that didn't happen. Why is the suspense theme the only one they keep throughout all the games? It's just that iconic. Mr. Portsman, correct? If you're a real prosecutor, you should know to stay collected. The investigation has only just begun. Isn't it too early to be drawing conclusions? Alright, I get the point. You're right, my mistake. I tend to get a little too hot-headed sometimes. Look at this guy. Does he look like a prosecutor to you guys? Looks like a clown if you ask me. You sure are one cool customer though, Mr. Edgeworth. I've heard all the rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. There's something of a legend, you know. Anyway, let's call a truce and work together, okay? Now, how about a handshake to seal the deal? Would you guys shake this guy's hand? I wouldn't. Look at this loser. A pleasure to work with you. You guys were conducting your investigation, right? Sorry for barging in like that. See, now that's my chat. Look at all those no's. Leon, how's Dead by Daylight? It's still shit. Well, to be fair, it is improving, but... they improve once every, like, 3 or 6 months, so... still kinda shit. Walmart Nishiki. His hand is probably gross from working out. Yeah, that's why he wants to shake Edgeworth's hand. Get rid of some of that stink. I'm just saying the truth, like... it's stunning how slow, like, the updates or development or improvements of Dead by Daylight are. Carry on then, it's your room after all. Thank you, I intend to. I just wanted a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. You there, sir. Oh, I want you to capture this scene on film for me. My final farewell to my partner, Jim. Edgeworth is cringing right now. I should probably give them some space. Okay. Hey, buddy. Do you have anything to report? Sir, yes, sir. Nothing out of the ordinary right now, sir. And yet there is something out of the ordinary right now in front of my eyes. Talk about a contradiction. Something out of the ordinary, huh? I should look around a bit more. Come play against M1 Killer Freddy on... against comp dudes. I don't know. Whenever I play Killer now, I play... what was the last Killer that I played? I think it was Wraith, but only because of a challenge. But I usually play Wesker, sometimes a Nemesis, the Trickster. Okay. Ah, your jacket, sir. What is it doing on the floor? It must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried to threaten me by firing a round. So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well. They dared to shoot the ultra special jacket that you made your prosecutorial debut in? What if they had shot through it? It would have been a disaster. It's not worth getting worked up over, detective. Not when there's something more here. Huh? Like what? I take it you haven't noticed yet, detective. There is a giant contradiction right here in front of us. Really? What games in the franchise have you yet to play? The sixth game, and also the Great Ace Attorney games, and the Professor Layton one. Yeah, this is the first one. Did I say contradiction? He must be rubbing off on me. I'm starting to sound like him. I wonder who he is. But I have my own methods, and I will conduct this investigation my way. When the scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence or seems off, that's when my detective skills come into play. We'll have the report the Professor Layton crossover. Yeah, the more games we have, the better. First, I have to find the spot that holds the contradiction. This is it. This bullet hole is where the contradiction is. When I spot something that's off, I should point my cursor at it and press T with conviction. Press T, Detective Gumshoe, now! And when I have found sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it. This is how I do things. I did play Freddy, yeah, but it's been a while since I did. Eureka! Eureka, baby! This bullet hole is the contradiction. What do you mean, sir? It's elementary. 2 shots were fired in this room. The first felled the victim. And the second felled this frame. Hey, that's right. However, this gun was only fired once. Hey, that's true too. Which means that one of these 2 bullets was fired from a different gun. Did the killer have another gun prepared for tonight? Yeah, I saw that, Maurice. Pretty cool. When does the AAI-1 happen? Yeah, it's right after the original trilogy and before Apollo Justice. I think it's like a month after the trilogy. Yeah, you want to hold off on Freddy for now until they buff him. Just get someone else. By the way, I noticed something, sir. Yes? What's that thing sticking out from behind the frame? Oh, that. It's a secret safe. A secret safe? Oh, I smell money. I'll spare us the trouble and just say it. Nothing like what you're imagining is inside. Now, if you could kindly move this frame out of the way. Roger that. Achoo! Achoo! Talk about Dusty. I suppose that's what happens when I'm not here to dust it once in a while. I had no idea there was a safe here, or I'd have kept it clean for you, sir. So when did you put this thing in? It wasn't something I had installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one. Really? I had no idea. Well, only prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence. So what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth? Right now, nothing. We only use them to store especially important evidence when a trial is in session. That's it. Talk about squashing my hopes and dreams. I hate DD. I actually really like DD. What is my least favorite Ace Attorney game? It might be, oh, what was it called again? The second one. I forget the subtitle for it. Like, most of the cases are eh, and then the last one is a banger. And, like, you know, even then, that game does have redeeming qualities, it's just less than the others. Justice for all, thank you, yeah. Okay. Now this is odd. You found something, sir? This keypad, don't you find it to be a bit too clean? Yeah, there's a thick layer of dust all around it, but not on the keypad itself. You there, the forensic scientist. Yes, sir. Could you please dust this area for fingerprints? You got it, sir. I couldn't find, let alone lift, a single print. Looks like it was wiped down well. As I thought. It appears that logic is the only way around this setback. Ready to use the logic, guys? Get thinking. Time to rationally and calmly play, connect the dots with the information we have. We have a whole bunch of them, I think. Yeah, we have like 4. So... the killer's goal with the fingerprints, probably, or... I believe I have figured out what the murderer was after. Yo, Manuel? Nice. Being able to hold back evidence from the defense in these games seems dirty. I hope that's a rule in Japan for real. I don't know much about how, like, the law is in Japan. But didn't Lost Judgment show us that thing where apparently before the trial happens, the judge and both attorneys, like, get together to discuss the evidence before it actually happens? I don't know if that's how it works, like, everywhere, but that's interesting. Can I just say that Edgeworth explaining to Gumshoe what logic is the most unintentionally funny thing that I've ever read. It is pretty funny, yeah. I believe I figured out what the murderer was after. Well, what is it, sir? The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe, making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe. I wonder if knowing that the motive behind this break-in was theft changes what the other pieces of information can tell me about his crime. So... signs of a struggle and the motive, maybe? There's a possibility that the files splayed on the floor are not the result of a struggle between the victim and his killer. Oh, you mean like it could be from when the killer tried to find something, sir? Pretty sure case briefings are a common practice, yet rarely matters considering Japan's conviction rate. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. I wouldn't say Dual Destinies is overrated. But then again, I'm not in the community that much, so... Because, like, if there's 1 or 2 games that people really, really love... Actually, it's mostly 1 game. Or, no, 2 games. The 2 most, like, undisputed popular games are the very first one and the third one. The third one is, like... You almost never see anybody saying bad things about that game. But then, from there, like every other game, it's kind of mixed. It depends. Somebody will put something very high, somebody put something very down. Yo, Buzz. Just bought my physical copy of Investigations. Congratulations, buddy. Let's go. Precisely. We need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen. Yes, sir. I'm gonna show files like you've never seen before, even at the library. Sure. Let's give that a try. Why do all the good ones always die young? Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth. No matter how much we lament, the dead will not come back to life. All we can do is search for the truth. And so what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth? Logic, Mr. Portsman. First, we calmly restore the files to their rightful place. You got it. Here, let me help. So this file goes here, and the book goes there. You sure know a lot about where things go, despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office. Because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal. Okay, done. It would appear that the murderer was definitely committed here. The bloodstains on the bookshelf are still fresh. I suspect that the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the prints on the shelf. And then the guy fell onto the floor, right? The blood on the floor is kinda grossing me out. Detective, I don't have the time to deal with your weak stomach right now. But you're now no good with blood, sir. I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture. Let's see. Yeah, the gunshot. Why is it there? Gotta love Edgeworth, the spirit medium denier. Yeah. Until he sees those pesky psycho locks. Yo, Slayton, how you doing? I put Spirit of Justice and Investigation 2 above everything else. Oh, that's interesting. I heard Spirit of Justice is really, really controversial. And one of the main reasons is the prosecutor, I believe. Oh, also, I think some people I talked to said that they feel like Apollo gets like no development. It's like the same thing in Dual Destinies for him all over again. I didn't play Spirit though. Oh yeah, Athena also doesn't get a case, I think, if I remember right. Does she? Or I think it's the DLC one, if I remember right. So this is where the bullet lodged itself after it went through the victim, huh? For the bullet to be lodged so squarely in a file spine indicates that the files were ransacked after the shooting had occurred. Then I guess the victim was moved because he was in the killer's way. I put them all back, just as they should be, sir. Doesn't look like anything's missing. Although it does look like the killer's moved the body to flip through my shelves. I wonder if they found what they were looking for. The victim's handprints. He must have tried to support himself with his hands here after being shot. There are prints on the floor, too. Those must have been made when, unable to stay standing, he dropped to the floor. It appears that the victim was in a sitting position here after being shot. Yo, unknown commander. What the heck? Leon is streaming on Twitch? I am today, and I'm probably gonna try to stream on Twitch as well for a while to come. YouTube is okay with that, right, guys? You don't mind the quality dip? Nobody cares. Nobody notices anyway. It's too unnoticeable. Alright. So that's why the seat of the victim's pants has blood on it. That would be the logical conclusion. Anything else? The killer moved the body because it was leaning against the bookshelf. The blood on this guy's pants proves that pretty well. In a sense, I suppose. See, I'm not completely useless, Mr. Edgeworth. What else? Is that it? Oh, I see, Maple. No one would say DD is their favorite game in the series. I think I did like a tier list of Ace Attorney. Like between me and like somebody I talked to. If I remember right, I put Dual Destinies in S tier. I enjoyed that game a lot, personally. Would I say it's my favorite? I'm not sure about that, because Ace Attorney Investigations 2 exists. Between that game, Apollo Justice as well, I love that game. Trial and Tribulations is also really good, and I would put it in S tier. Like, there's a few candidates, but yeah, I probably wouldn't say Dual Destinies is my favorite, but it is S tier for me still, or at the bare minimum, A tier. The soundtrack of that game is amazing, which is a big deal for me. Like, a lot of these games, or maybe not a lot of these games, but some of the games have tracks that really don't stand out. But the Dual Destinies tracks, like a lot of them, I really like. A lot of them are catchy. I really like Bobby Fulbright. I think he's peak. And yeah, I also like Athena. I like the dynamic the protagonists have in Dual Destinies as well. Like just seeing them all being together instead of like, I guess, Phoenix taking a backseat like in Apollo Justice. But I also really like that. I wouldn't have minded if Phoenix didn't come back, but you know. Are you playing Spirit of Justice after Investigations? No, I don't think so. So here's the thing. I was planning on streaming this duology, and then also the Apollo trilogy, but not now. I just finished playing a long game on stream. 21 fucking streams, okay? So... yeah. I'm gonna play it, just not soon. Okay, maybe we need to piece together something. No. I feel like I'm missing something here, but... oh, wait.
Eureka!
There's clearly a contradiction here with this bullet hole. What do you mean, sir? You don't see? Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up. Apollo Justice has my favorite first case in the whole franchise. It's so good. I love it. It's like a comfort case for me. Yeah, I love the UI work in this as well. How many Trails games have you played? All of them. All of them! No exceptions. Except the ones that didn't get localized. Oh yeah, I didn't play Nayuta either. I need to play that at some point. Man, I can't believe we only have 1 month until Silent Hill 2. Lots of good games. Oh, and Dead Rising this later this month as well. What if the guy was shot while he was sitting or lying down, sir? That would be illogical. The victim leaned against this shelf here after being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he was shot. Then that means... What does that mean? It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mind, detective. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption, and it was from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. What is the faulty assumption that caused this problem with the bullet hole's position? The order of the files? I believe the order of the files is a bit off. You mean I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually, I think the labels on the files are wrong, sir. Oh? Yeah, you see here how the files that were shot begin with the number 0. What are those doing all the way down there after 1, 2, and 3? That's really weird. Actually, the way they are organized now is the correct order. They're exactly as I see them in my mind's eye. But the numbers are all out of order. Those white binders are special, so they're arranged a little differently. No way, it's Miles Edgeworth. You better believe it, boy. The man, the myth, the legend, right here. Oh. But from this, we know that the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. Aha, so that's it. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption as you just did, detective. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out. Do you think it would be okay to prop the body back up to see how it was before it was moved? They finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. If you please, Mr. Detective Gumshoe. I have 6 years experience as a file clerk, and I crushed this section. Let's go. That experience coming in handy, huh? As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. The killer went through my files before shooting Mr. Faith, and then put the files back in numerical order, I guess. Exactly, and then proceeded to shoot the victim. But why would someone kill a man and then look through your files one more time? Puzzling indeed. The files were thrown into disarray twice. Once before and once after the crime, but why? Now the crime scene is as it was at the time of the murder. Time to give it another look. What do we have here? This. What is that? Why does it say Gumshoe on there in blood? I'd say that's some incredibly incriminating evidence. Yes, I can't fucking talk. Indicative of criminal activity, indeed. Now wait, there's gotta be some mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me! Say something, sir! He's not saying anything. It appears that one of my files was stolen. Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation? Is this what the killer was really after? Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. And this most important message managed to reach us. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. You can't be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party. If you're going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up. Yeah, let's go, Edgeworth. Jim's words, they're more than enough, wouldn't you say? If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning. You got it. I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude. I mean, look at his face! This guy is sussy as hell. And there must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig out. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you gonna do? What I always do in court. I'm going to cross-examine him. One way or another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique. Oh, how do you do that? Can you explain it to me, sir? We know how it works. Mr. Portsman, if you're ready. Aw, if you don't have time, you can just say so, sir. Let's go. I love this, by the way. Like when you're doing the actual cross-examinations, you see the backgrounds, like, you know, they're in the environment. Mr. Portsman's logic. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Furthermore, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, he didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. And it will be by his final words that you will be brought to justice. So Maya keeps getting blamed when it's the main game. Is Gumshoe gonna be blamed for everything in these games? Maybe. You intend to argue that the victim's dying message points to his killer. I can hear Jim's voice and he's calling for his killer's arrest. Huh. Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portsman? Look at his smug ass. There's no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here. I will find the flaw in this man's logic and expose it with credible evidence. I'm gonna assume the first thing is we point out that he didn't need to steal the gun, because he should have had one. But let me save. I like that sound effect. Okay, so... issued to the victim and believed to be...
Objection!
No, that's not right. Well, there's the first screw-up of the stream. Okay, so...
Hold it!
Don't worry, you guys didn't see that. You know, there's something I've been meaning to ask. What is it? Why do you call the victim Jim, when clearly his name is Buddy Faith? Isn't it obvious? Jim is the perfect name for my companion. Jack and Jim, don't those two names go together like peanut butter and jelly? But Jim isn't even close to that guy's real name. Well, Jack and Buddy just sounds off somehow. Besides, he was the third of a bunch of guys that decided to nickname Jim the Third. He talks about the victim like he was his pet. He messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead.
Hold it!
Do you really think it was necessary to dishevel my shelves twice to do that? That's true. Okay, then maybe his real intent was theft. Hey, are you accusing me of stealing something from Mr. Edgeworth? It's a possibility. Maybe your salary's been cut so much that life's been getting a little too rough to handle. I'll have you know that I eat 3 square meals every day, pal. Okay, so all 3 of them happen to be instant noodles, but... poor thing, what an evil prosecutor you were paired up with. And what a motive, no? Okay, can't deny that one. That's when he moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the shelf. I like that you see how many statements there are here as well. That's nice quality of life.
Hold it!
And why would Detective Gumshoe do such a thing? Because the body was getting in his way. He had to mess up your bookshelf somehow, right? Anyway.
Hold it!
Why do you think that the killer didn't notice the bloody letters? The body was covering it quite well, wouldn't you say? That's how he missed it. But judging by what I've seen, it doesn't take much for your detective to miss something. Who do you think you are? You know nothing about me, pal. There's a lot a person can understand about another from first impressions alone. I can't say I disagree with him on that point. Why don't you say something, sir? Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth. Despite his lack of attention to detail, I don't believe the detective to be the culprit. Nobody could have overlooked the bloody letters, and I can prove it with evidence. Couldn't ask for a better setup. For the game-finishing spike. So, hold on. That was probably a hint that, oh, goddammit. Skip. Does he know? Didn't notice the bloody letters. Okay, let me save again. Here's a pro tip, guys. Every time you make a decision in these games where you can lose, like, health, save.
Objection!
Look at that smug look. Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsman, but there is a serious flaw in your logic. Bringing a bit of the courtroom into this, I see. No problem. I'm game. I can't help but find it odd. Excuse me? Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office. What are you talking about? Oh, you're joking. I get it. If you have the time to laugh, then you have the time to take another closer look at this. Do you still not see? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file? What? That's impossible. What's impossible, Mr. Portsman? Nothing. The files on that shelf are all but about a certain case. When the killer went to take the file after murdering the partner, I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spines. Yo, Narakumi, how you doing? I see you finished the first, game. And I think you've been enjoying it, right? What do you think? 10 out of 10? Or 2 out of 10? Who would you rather have helping you, Date or Gumshoe? Gumshoe for, like, wholesome times. Date for, like, serious times. It's possible that they could have taken the file before committing the murder. I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on. The missing letters and the detective's name, where the file should be, is proof. Yeah, I mean, the S is gone and there's only half an H. If Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case, I highly doubt that even he could overlook his own name written in blood on the files. Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood. Look at his face. Delicious. Which means, what exactly? What does that make this dying message? It makes it the work of a criminal intent on tampering with a crime scene. 9 out of 10. The final 2 episodes were 10 out of 10, though. I'm all in on the series now. Nice, dude. Very nice. Yeah, the 4th case is amazing. I don't know if I should say this. The 2nd game is one of the more controversial ones. But the finale makes up for everything. It's so good. And then the 3rd game is like the fan favorite. The Yakuza 0 of the franchise, if you will. It's like undisputedly good. Think Gumshoe and Edgeworth got it on? Maybe. You never know. His Miles edging. He's edging all over Jack right now. Just watch. That's so low. I can't believe the criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir. I'm gonna get him, sir. You'll see. I'm gonna have him under arrest in no time. Well, Mr. Portsman? Brilliant. Absolutely splendid. Logic deserving of Olympic gold. I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed. Meh, you win some and you lose some. That's how life goes. Glad everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive. Ah, but you know, it really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up, however. What is it this time? You still after me, pal? Humor me for a second. Who has the key to this office? That would be me. But Mr. Edgeworth just proved that I'm innocent, pal. That's absolutely right, and I acknowledge your innocence. And why do I sense that she still has something to say? He really likes that jacket. Get wrecked, sportsman. Which one is Yakuza 5? I don't know, actually. No, wait. It's the 2nd game. But also not really, because it's not the length that makes it annoying. I feel like that one differs depending on who you ask. I love this game, but the last case does drag a little bit. Just a little bit. Those who played know. So maybe this game? Yo, thank you, Narkim. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you, thank you. Hope you get your turn at some point. Did you know there is one other person with a key to this office? One other person. Hey, you there. Yes, sir. What is it, sir? Would you kindly fetch and escort that lovely young lady here for me? A lady? The girl is a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness. Security? Did you say security? No, stop it, pal. Don't. What's wrong with him all of a sudden? Look who it is, guys. I believe she needs no introduction. I have called upon Miss Maggie Bird, a member of security. The blue badger shirt. That is so cute. Detective Gumshoe, sir. Maggie. Miss Bird is the security guard on watch tonight. I see, and your point is? My point is that she could have very well have used it. And by it, I mean the master key, which can open all office doors in this building. What? If you're not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only other person with access to this room is Miss Bird. How dare you? I would never sneak into someone's room. That's right, I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. It was me, that's right. Oh no, I did it. Can we take that as a confession, Detective? Well, it wasn't really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So yeah, it was me. If it was, you'd have no problems with that, right? Please refrain from flying off the handle, Detective. There's no need for such theatrics. Yo, Gems, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Welcome, Leon. Yeah, I did play both games already, actually. But I'm still so glad to see them ported, because now they're accessible to everybody. Even more. Listen to your boss, Detective. He understands what I'm saying here. That girl is the only one who could have committed the crime. And for one simple reason. Let's go, round 2. A reason for suspicion. It's pretty obvious that Miss Bird snuck into your room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then that leaves only Miss Bird as our prime suspect. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Making it all the more probable that she was the one who picked the dying message. Yo, Cena, thank you for the 24 months, 2 years! Thank you. Thank you. Hope you're doing well, sir. Yeah, the collection is amazing. Like, you know, aside from the stories, which are great, the quality of life adjustments are amazing. Which one do you think is better? I think that the second one has a better overall story, but I prefer the first one. I think I prefer the second one overall, but I really do like the first one as well. I think the soundtrack in the second one is better. The story as well. But this game does have some really cool characters. So you're saying she used the master key? Incredibly incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say? That's what you claimed about the evidence earlier as well. That was then, this is now. The flow of a good match always changes during a rally. It's all about your reflexes and reaction time, especially for an athlete like me. I wonder if there was anyone else other than Miss Bird who could have used the master key? It seems that the only way to get Mr. Portsman to give me more detail is to press him. Press the shit out of that shithead. Okay, guys, drink some water and move your legs. Very important. They say sitting is the new smoking, so you know what that means. Don't sit for more than an hour without moving. Move! Everyone in the chat, Jack over here is a bit suspicious. Some might even say, sussy. Now why is that? Well, let's see.
Hold it!
Are you sure Miss Bird is the only member of security who could have used the master key? There's only one person on staff at this time of night. And tonight, she's it. Isn't that right, Miss Bird? That's true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir. Wasn't able to? What's that supposed to mean? Yes, moving on. I'd hate to get sidetracked by something unrelated. What do you mean unrelated? I want to hear what she has to say, pal. But you can't really trust her not to tell lies, plus I hate wasting time. Should I hear Miss Bird out? Yes. Of course. I thought the stream was buffering, but it turns out Leon was just gone. Not anymore. I've seen a lot of people dislike the first investigations, especially because of the final case. I can see why people might not find it as good as the second one, but I do think it's good. Not so fast. I too am interested in hearing what Miss Bird has to say. Didn't I just say it would be a waste of time? We don't need to hear her lies. I'll be the judge of that. Miss Bird, if you please. I discovered that the master key was missing at around 1 AM, sir. What do you mean by missing? As in, it wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it. Mr. Portsman, I believe this to be an important piece of testimony, don't you? I can't believe that someone like you would be taken in by such words. I'm not lying, sir.
Objection!
If that's the case, then I'd like to know why you have the master key now. I don't quite know, it just reappeared all of a sudden, sir. A likely story, and where's your proof that the key was stolen to begin with? Everything just forgot where you put it and then found it again. I never lose things. I can practically guarantee that. With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it. Yeah, pal, trust me, you don't want to test just how bad her luck is. Unfortunately, I can't deem this piece of testimony as conclusive. Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth. But, you still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office. Her motive? Didn't we already establish that it was theft? I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried the safe. It is as Mr. Portsman says, Detective. I can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards a motive of theft. But I'm done taking blows. It's time to counterattack with a few facts of my own. Look at this asshole.
Hold it!
Are you going completely guideless for this one? For the most part, yeah. I'm just going off of memory if I remember anything. I'm gonna just press everything. That's usually the safest thing to do. I concur the culprit's motive appears to have been thievery, however. Glad to hear that the great Miles Edgeworth is in agreement with little old me. However, with regard to the investigation of the bookshelves and the safe... Hey, good thinking, asking for my opinion on the matter. Dude, let me talk. Would it be too much for you to allow me to complete a full sentence? I feel like this is the sentence I have to present something in, but...
Objection!
Oh, fuck. I'm trying to skip, but it doesn't let me. God damn it. Hold on. Let me save. Maybe it's the gun, because I don't know if she has a gun.
Objection!
No. Okay, let's just press the rest.
Hold it!
I thought we had established Detective Gumshoe's innocence pretty thoroughly. It was just a theory, one hypothesis among the many possibilities. I mean, I had my doubts about Miss Bird from the very beginning. If that's the case, then why didn't you mention her first? No, don't make that face, see? There goes the truth running the other way. Let's pick up the pace to see if we can't catch up to it. I don't think you're catching my drift. But we're in agreement that the detective isn't the killer, right? If so, then I hope you'll understand when I say that since she's the only one who could have opened your office door.
Hold it!
Let's save. Yeah, I'll try that actually. Typical Ace Attorney strat, saving before presenting evidence. Yep. The only right way to play. You know what? Is there the option to, like, let you just skip? Because I think it's the first playthrough. Oh, there we go. Text skip. Let me unlock that. I'm so glad that's an option. Yeah, oh yeah! This should be only knowledge available to the prosecutors and nobody else. Not even Gumshoe knew about it.
Objection!
Gotcha now, bitch. Do you wish to continue insisting that Miss Bird was set on stealing something? Why not? It's the truth after all. Yeah, I'm so glad they have the text skip option. It just makes things faster. It was also by your logic that we came to the whole thievery conclusion anyway. That may be, but you also must be aware of the fact that the safe is a secret safe. The existence of which is only privy to prosecutors. Got him. I find it a little hard to believe that that hidden safe was a part of her cunning plan. This game in particular also has one of the dumbest names, even for Ace Attorney. I heard the crown for that goes to the 6th game. Yeah, what Self-Destruct said. Because I heard this from multiple people. What was that one? There was one name that was so ridiculous. Let me see if I can find it. It was like ridiculously, like, on the nose. Hold on, where was it? Oh, there we... Yes, that's the one. Peace, love, and understand. Yeah, what the hell is that? Like, come on. Yeah, that's the one that I was told about when I was talking about the topic. But she could have found it by accident while she was turning everything else upside down. I highly doubt that. I'd say the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, only the bookshelf and the safe were targeted. Uh-oh, he's eating his metal. Let's fucking go. Yeah, even I didn't know about that safe, pal. And that means there's no way Maggie could have known about it either. Then are you proposing that the killer is a prosecutor? I didn't play Ghost Trick, no. Your tour guide is literally called I'll Be Your Guide. Wow. Interesting conclusion. That's definitely looking more and more probable. What's wrong, prosecutor? Do you have a different suspect in mind now? Curses. Why? What made you... What's with the angry face all of a sudden? It's all my fault. What do you mean? It's Jim. He knew about the existence of the secret safes. What did you just say? We were partners, like inseparable, conjoined twins. That's why I told him. I filled him in on the secret safes. And that means... nothing will beat Dead Man. Yeah, that one is legendary. Bro existed just to be dead. That's it. He has a portrait at least. Yo, Shima, how you doing? Dead Man is like the legendary one, the top one in terms of like how cheesy it is. I'd only just told him to. Obviously, it was wrong of me to tell him. I still can't quite believe it, but the thief who broke into your room was probably Jim. Now he's claiming that the victim was the thief. And you were simply trying to stop him, weren't you? Miss Maggie Bird. Excuse me? I mean, you are a security guard, right? That's your job. But killing is going a bit too far, even in your risky profession. What the? You're still accusing Maggie of the murder? Yes and no. I mean, she had stumbled upon Jim, who had probably drawn his gun. I get it. It was self-defense, wasn't it? No, I couldn't. I could never do something like that, not even as a security guard, sir. Plus, even if he was the thief, he wouldn't have a key to this office. Which is precisely why he had to steal it, wouldn't you say? It was Jim who stole the master key. Pretty impossible for a supposedly stolen key to be, with us, unless... well, unless you retrieved it from Jim after you killed him. Mr. Portsman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief? I don't want to admit it, but it's the only way for everything else to make sense. Has he no honor? Now then, I think we're done here. The investigation waits for no man. Would you people be so kind as to see yourselves out? You can't kick us out. This is Mr. Edgeworth's office. Ah, but I'm the one who's been assigned to this case. Bro, you just arrived here like 5 minutes ago. You're all suspects to varying degrees, and therefore ineligible to run the show. So, and you're attached to the victim. Listen, pal, how many times do I have to say this? Maggie can't be the culprit. Detective Gumshoe, calm yourself. But, sir, we have no choice but to accommodate this request, for now. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands. Now then, if you could remove yourselves from my crime scene, I'd be most grateful. Mark my words, Mr. Portsman, we will meet again. If that's a formal request from the legendary prosecutor himself, then I suppose so. Now, don't disappoint me, you hear? To be continued. Alright, 4 AM, like 2 hours later. What is with that prosecutor? I can't believe how rude he was. It was unbelievable. Please maintain your professionalism, detective. I'm gonna find some real solid evidence proving Maggie's innocence. You'll see, sir. But we've been kicked out of the crime scene, sir. True. So then what now? Looks like my life's fallen into yet another gigantic ditch. Do not despair, Miss Bird. We can overcome this as well. There are many other places and things we should be looking into anyway. Really, sir. For example, this hallway. The linchpin of his argument against Miss Bird is related to the master key. In that case, this hallway is the perfect place to look for more information. Regarding the mystery surrounding my door. Yeah, Gumshoe's always had this Maggie crush. Alright. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Huh? Isn't this that missing Zero Series file, sir? No doubt about it, the bloody letters mark it clear as day. There seem to be a few pages missing. Our thief took only what was necessary and left the rest behind. So what are these Zero files about, sir? I guess they got something worth stealing in them, huh? Not particularly, it's just a collection of court cases, court case files. However, the cases within these files are not mine. They belong to the High Prosecutor that used to occupy my current office. I have my reasons, but let's just say I was charged with keeping them as they were. And that means the thief must have also wanted the file for a specific reason, right? It would seem so. Only the pages related to that case from 10 years ago are missing. I wonder why anyone would care about such an old case. Okay, well... Yeah, I really like the new sprites. They do look cute. Hold on. Can we switch them on the fly? No, I think we have to go back to the menu. Hold on. How many years? Uh-oh. Here come the Yakuza fans. Oh, they give you the option to save when you leave anyway. That's cool. Okay, so... And look at this menu. So good. And now we're pixelated, fellas. What is a basketball doing here? That's Mr. Portsman's prized possession, sir. I heard he also plays soccer, dodgeball, and even tennis. And not a single one of those sports is suitable to be played in a hallway. Tell him. Look who it is. Looks like you're in quite the pinch, Mr. Edgeworth. To be sure, a murder within the walls of the prosecutor's office is no trifling matter. We must find, apprehend, and punish the killer accordingly post-haste. Pixelated Gumshoe looks based. Hell yeah. Sounds like a messy case you got on your hands. If you ever feel lost or need some advice, my door is always open. How gracious, I'll keep your offer in mind. Look who it is, we can't see him. Oh shit, wait, you can't see him. I just realized the fucking... Look at him. It's the prosecutor from the first case of the first game. And I think it's the same guy in the second game in the first case as well. He's the first case guy, almost always. That's him. Winston Payne. Pretty cool that he offers Edgeworth advice. Who is this guy again? The Winston disrespect, I tell you. Is everything alright? Yes, sir. If you must know, I weighed myself this morning and I'm finally at 154 pounds. Congratulations, but I was asking about this hallway in this room. Oh, everything is okay, sir. A word of advice, stay focused or you may start to lose even more weight. Uh-oh. More salary cuts. What is a basketball hoop doing here? Didn't this used to be just outside next to the building a long time ago? So when and why was it moved indoors? I don't remember exactly, but I saw one of the officers drag it up here recently. Drag it? I heard that it wouldn't fit in the elevator, so the poor guy had to bring it himself. All the way up to the 12th floor? That makes me think of like whenever you move furniture and stuff, and there's no elevators, and like you have, you know, workers lifting all of that shit like up the stairs. Goddamn. I was wondering if I may speak with you for a bit concerning this case. I've always been a big fan of the courtroom, but this is like a dream. A dream where I'm being cross-examined by the Miles Edgeworth. I can't let this chance pass me by. I must remember to ask her about the master key. I should jog her memory by showing her my notes with tea. Have you ever met the victim before? Well, I've seen him a couple times when I had to go to the Mr. Portsman office. Mr. Faith was always playing basketball with Mr. Portsman, sir. That sounds like fun. Just once I would have loved to play with them. It sounds fun, but the only person ever taking a shot was Mr. Portsman. All Mr. Faith ever did was pass him the ball, sir. On second thought, I don't think I'd have fit in all that well with them. Miss Maggie Burt, correct? I take it that you're an acquaintance of the detective? She was under my supervision back when she was still on the force, sir. One day she got caught up in a murder and things started going downhill, so she quit. But I owe a lot to Detective Gumshoe for introducing me to my current employer. Or so- wait. Or so I thought until a few hours ago. I'm so glad they have a history feature. Wait, what is this emoji? I legit don't know. The what jokes now? The water jokes? Right before I was about to clock out for the night, you got caught up in this whirlwind of a case, correct? Don't worry, my whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. We're gonna hear her story again, fellas. Oh, green tea. I'm actually gonna have green tea later, probably. Since I was 6 months old, when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building, I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of foods, failed at almost every test I've taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster, and now I even managed to be named a criminal, just when I became a security guard. That's a lot to go through in one lifetime. I know, and just when I thought I finally found my happiness, I wind up getting you and Detective Gumshoe involved in my bad luck. You don't need to worry about me, Miss Bird, nor do you need to worry about yourself. I will solve this case and prove your innocence. All I ask in return is for your cooperation. Yes, sir, Mr. Edgeworth. You can count on me. I'll do all I can to help. Okay. You probably want to present the key. So when did you discover that the master key was missing? By the time I realized it, I think it was around 1 AM, sir. And I noticed it was back at around 2:30 AM. It was just sitting there on the ledge where the security room's reception window is. But I'm sure that between those 2 times, it was not just gone, but stolen, sir. Why is such an important key stored in such an insecure place? It's not like that, sir. We always keep the key further inside the room, away from the window. Always, you say, except for this time, correct? Well, I admit that was a bit careless, but I had my reasons. I left it out because I was sort of using it at the time. It was after I had used it that I left it sitting on the ledge. She used the master key? What did he mean by use the master key? Oh, I had to use it to open the door for this prosecutor who had forgotten this key. I mean, it's my job as a security guard, right? What is it? That's right, I just remembered. The prosecutor who forgot his key. It was Mr. Portsman, sir. What? Please tell me more, Miss Bird. Quickly. It was around 12 AM. Mr. Portsman had forgotten his office key, so he came down to security, sir. And that's when you loaned the master key to him. No way, it's against regulations to loan the master key out to anyone. I walked with Mr. Portman to his office and opened the door for him personally, sir. I see. And then, what happened after that? Well, he called for me to come close up his office as he was leaving to go home. That was around 1:30 AM, I think. So in summary, for the sake of one forgetful prosecutor, you used the master key twice tonight. Talk about sussy. I doubt you can say that you never left your keys at home, detective. Yo, Kieran. No, I played these games before, both of them. I'm just doing a sponsor. I think this calls for a thorough examination of Mr. Portsman's door. Let's check that door. I think what's this one? I won't rest until... Oh. Room 1203. I take it this is Portsman's office. Yeah, you can't mistake it because of that basketball hoop, sir. Oh, that reminds me. Portsman had actually wanted room 1202 really badly. But since you were already occupying it, Mr. Edgeworth, we put him next door, sir. So why was Portsman so particular about getting room 1202? I'm not sure, but I bet it's because of something like his birthday is December 2nd. Yep, that's gotta be it. I can't think of another reason why. I can think of at least 3. Why am I even wasting time thinking about this? The door is locked tight. I bet the old credit card trick wouldn't work here, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? This is the office of a high prosecutor, detective. These doors would be pretty ineffective if the average cat burglar could get through them. So I guess only a great cat burglar could get in. That must be who our culprit is. Might I advise you to return to the conclusion that conclusion to whatever pawn shop you bought it from. Yeah, let's try connecting clues now. So... Probably these two. Miss Bird, I'm afraid there is a flaw in your story. What? No way, pal. I mean, sir. You said that you locked up Mr. Portsman's office at around 1:30 AM, correct? However, the master key had already been stolen at that time. Wow, nothing gets by you, Mr. Edgeworth. You saw that contradiction like a pro. I totally forgotten all about that, but thanks to you, I remember now. You're right, it was around that very time that I realized the master key was missing. I like that you played investigation spin-off games, but not S36, a mainline entry. I mean... The investigations games came out way before 6. So by the time 6 came out, I kinda was taking a break from the franchise. And I still didn't get around to it. Does the OG character graphic settings only change character models? I guess so, yeah. And? Well, I'm a security guard, sir. I couldn't just admit to losing the master key, could I? So I pretended to lock up his room, sir. You pretended? Yeah, I used my house key and made it look like I was locking up, sir. So in actuality, you never did relock the door then. Well, I thought that maybe I could go lock it after I found the key. Come to think of it, I guess the door still hasn't been locked properly. Huh. But they said it was locked. She did not lock it up.
Eureka!
But it's locked. There's a contradiction here between reality and the evidence. If what Miss Bird has said is the truth, then why is this door locked tight? Huh? You know, you're right. Miss Bird, are you sure you didn't relock this door? I'm certain of it, sir. And I don't think Mr. Portsman noticed it himself that I hadn't. Which means, what, sir? It means either he actually does have the key to his office, or that the door Miss Bird opened wasn't this one at all, but a completely different one. She opened a different door, but how can he prove that? There's an easy way to find out. All we need to do is... We need to examine one of these. The prints on the doorknob will tell us everything. Hey you, yeah you pal, do us a favor and see what you can lift from this, okay? So, what'd you find out? There's no need for such belligerent nostril flaring, detective. I've only found Mr. Portsman and Mr. Fate's prints on this doorknob. So only 2 people's prints were found on this, huh? That's pretty decisive. I'm lost, sir. Thinking logically, a certain other person's prints should be on this knob as well. Maggie! Where's her prints?
Take that!
What are your thoughts of the new localized names and investigations too? If anything, I'm just interested in seeing like what Capcom cooked compared to the fan translation. Like, I get people might be disappointed because they're attached to the fan names, but you know, it's a fan translation. It never was the official one. So yeah, I don't have like a strong stance on it. Don't you find it? I'm just glad like we have these games, like officially localized and available on modern platforms now, more than anything. Don't you find it odd that the prints of the person who unlocked this door are absent? You mean, yes, the door that Miss Bird opened could not have been this one, but a different one. Yeah, this is the official translation. The game came out today, fellas, for those who want to buy this. Available on Steam, I think PlayStation and Xbox as well, and the Switch. Could be wrong about the Xbox. What have we here? Let's see. What is this? Looks like a scrap of paper. I'll get it, sir. Let's see. Oh, there's something written on it. I brought the 3 pieces of evidence by, just like we talked about on the phone, but it looks like we're out. Guess I'll catch up to you later, buddy. A note from the victim, and it's for Mr. Portsman. Yeah, I'm sure people are gonna restore the names anyway. Okay, is there anything else that I forgot to do? 1202. These 4 numbers on a plate alone proclaim this to be my office. Hey, these number plates slide right out, sir. They have to be able to take the plate off when a room becomes vacant, you know. Although, the idea that it can be so easily removed is kind of... sus. Yeah, understandable stuff. I don't see any signs of forced entry. And according to the guard, no signs that the lock was picked either, sir. Meaning that the door was, really opened with a key. Did you happen to ask if any prints were lifted from the doorknob? Apparently the doorknob's clean as a whistle. Wiped, they think. Whoever this thief is, they did a good job of not leaving any clues behind. Right, well... what else is left? I like that it does tell you, like, I think you talked about everything you could possibly talk about. That's nice. Oh. Is this basketball a property of, Miss Sportsman? Yes, sir, he's always ready for a match. Basketball, soccer, dodgeball, tennis. Doesn't matter what sport it is, he's game. Although I think it would be a little hard to play tennis with this ball. Ho ho. Yo, Laith Al Khalid, how you doing, buddy? Thank you, thank you. Yeah, glad you're enjoying the videos. I assume you mean the recent ones about Kiwami 3. I'm cooking another video. It's not about Yakuza 3 though, but I think it's gonna be a fun one. What's this? Oh, I forgot about this. There's like an indent. What are you looking at? Oh, hey, how about a game? That's okay, detective. Just find the position of this hoop to be a little off. Hey, you're right, sir. I guess it shifted when someone made a seriously sweet slam dunk. The positioning of the hoop is definitely unnatural. I better take note of this. Alright. Let's go. We got some health back, too. Poking around in his hallway has actually paid off quite handsomely. Huh? How so, sir? In a variety of different ways. I think it's time we had a little chat with the real culprit of the case. You know who the killer is? Wow, Mr. Edgeworth. As long as my logic is sound, then yes. The mastermind behind this murder is none other than Mr. Portsman. What? I knew it. That's exactly what my logic senses were telling me, too. Not about Yakuza 3. Crosses out Tamiya character appreciation video. You know, if I make that, that would have to be a meme video. Like, even if I genuinely want to say good things about the guy. What do I say? Do you think Yagami could beat the entire AA franchise? Yes, absolutely. I suspected it was him from the instant he accused Maggie of being the killer, sir. That is anything but logical. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves. Come what may, it's time to knock on truth's door. Let's do this. Mr. Portsman, I finished processing the bloody letter, sir. Alright, let me take a gander at it. Pass it here. Okay, looking good. You there, take good care of this. Whoa! Well, if it isn't Detective Gumshoe. End of the line for you, Portsman. We got you now. Call off your dog, Mr. Edgeworth. Is this some kind of joke? It's no joke. We know, Mr. Jack Portsman, that you are the guilty party in this case. Uh-oh. You must be pretty upset getting chased out of your own room. I'd be mad too. So I guess you can stay, if you promise to stay out of our way. You intend to hide your crime under the guise of a prosecutor doing his job. I can see right through the unsightly, paper-thin mask you wear upon your cowl. Who would have thought it would come to this? Actually, come to think of it, your mentor was Manfred von Kalmar, right? The legendary prosecutor who never lost a single case for 40 long years. But there was always this incessant chatter about forged evidence of that guy. Really teaches me that I've got to stay on the lookout for false accusations, you know? Are you done trying to play mind games with me? Because they won't work. They won't work. The only thing you should be using that math of yours for now is explaining yourself. Although that, too, will only dig your hole deeper. Either way, your game is up. What is this game? It's a mystery game. Ace Attorney. Well, aren't we full of ourselves, even though you have yet to prove anything? Let's go. Showdown. Mr. Portsman rebuttal. I have no idea what sort of harebrained idea you have in mind, but there's a mountain of evidence that points away from me being the culprit. Besides, how, may I ask, do you propose I unlocked your door and got in here? Look, I feel bad doing this to you, but I've got work to do, so we're done here. We know exactly how. Sorry, but we're not finished. Yet. Boy, you're stubborn. I suppose you're basing your accusations off on something? I'll show you what I'm basing my accusation on, with evidence. What you blinking at, Streamlabs? That's kind of rude, you know? Now you're gonna make the whole chat blink. You happy? Okay, present. Profiles. Maggie. Wait. Wait, we can't present her?
Objection!
There we go. I guess that works. Ah, see? Now the whole chat is blinking. God damn it. Holy shit, investigations is out already? It is! It is. Oh no. Roxy on Twitch is blinking as well. God damn it. Both chats are infected now. Oh, I was wondering about that, so we don't have to worry about presenting profiles. That's good. Today is Friday. I thought this is RGG Summit Day. Not yet, but soon. I believe we were able to open my office door with the master key, no less.
Objection!
Wait. Hold on for a sec. I never laid a finger on that key, as you already know. Precisely. You were able to open my door without lifting a single finger. Well, how about I put my finger up your ass? Maybe you did, but only to direct. That's right. You used your finger to direct this person and to open my door with the key.
Take that!
Maggie. You had asked Miss Bird to open your own office door for you, yes? Yeah, I kind of forgot my key at home. Happens a bit too often for my taste, you know? But the room you had Miss Bird open at that time was not your own, was it? What? You have quite the imagination. But why don't we ask the girl herself whose door she opened, shall we? I'm certain it was Mr. Portsman's door, sir. I'm wondering if Shu Takumi will play the newest attorney, but with Miles as the protagonist. I don't know. It felt to me like Shu Takumi always wanted to move on from Phoenix, but Capcom didn't want that. I think like there's interviews like that imply or prove as much. Like, wasn't Apollo Justice the last game he worked on? And then when he left, they brought back Phoenix. I checked the number plate to make sure I was opening the right door, sir. See, Miss Bird backs up my story. Yet, what if you had misled her to fool her into thinking what you wanted? And how do you suppose I did that? By switching the number plates on our doors, for example. That's right, they do slide out pretty easily. Furthermore, you then used one other thing to give a very strong impression. That the door she was opening was yours and not, in fact, mine. What was it that Mr. Portsman used to make Miss Bird think it was his room? The basketball thing, there we go.
Take that!
What? The basketball hoop, sir? It's quite the peculiar fixture in any hallway, let alone a hallway in this building. Which is why it left an unusually strong impression on you. It's an object perfectly suited to sit just outside the office of a peculiar prosecutor. Ha, got him. That's very true, sir, because there was a basketball hoop sitting there. I thought the door I was opening had to be Mr. Portsman's. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did work on Apollo Justice. You know, that's a whole thing and a half. Comparing Hobo Phoenix to the other Phoenix iterations always felt like a different person to me as well. But when you go back and play the trilogy, the, like, how do I say this? The jerk or asshole attitude that Phoenix has in Apollo Justice, you can see that in the trilogy as well. Like, sometimes he has surprisingly little regard for people. Or just, like, makes, like, very jerkish jokes. Yo, Dixon, how you doing? There are signs that the hoop has been moved. Just sit in front of my office to be sure. I see, so that's how you throw suspicion on people. Thanks for the tip. But I think your conjecture is a little off the racetrack. Conjecture's rebuttal. Now you're just spouting nonsense. I had the girl open my office door. After that, I was in my room the entire time. You don't have a single reason to suspect me. Actually, I do. Maybe we present the safe now? Or no, no. So he intends to claim his innocence to the end, does he? I'm as pure and innocent as my jacket. And Miss Bird is as dirty and guilty as the jacket she wears. My jacket is not dirty, I'll have you know. I just washed it yesterday. Please calm down, for I tend to show who is the one truly covered in slime here. It feels different only because we don't get to see his inner thoughts in AJ. Exactly. Yes. 100%. When I went through the trilogy, I kind of started to notice the same thing, or realize the same thing. Okay, so I'm pretty sure there's a very specific thing we present here. I think it's at the last sentence. You don't have a single reason to suspect me. But was it the... Okay, I'm gonna save.
Objection!
No. I personally liked Bitter Phoenix. Yeah? Yeah, I mean, he stood out. Should it not be the fingerprints? Oh, shit! I forgot about that, thank you. Her fingerprints were not down.
Objection!
Oh, maybe not yet. Your head is in the right place, just... It's the timing, I think. Hold on. I was in my room the whole time. Oh, maybe this one.
Objection!
There we go. Stefano's cooking. Naruhobo was a fun time. Yeah, I really like Naruhobo. Smug and confident. I seem to remember him being cocky in the case that cost him his badge. He looks down on Clive for being cocky, but in doing so, he also becomes arrogant. Yes, 100%. Phoenix, like, even in the trilogy sometimes, he does come off to me as, like, condescending in a way. Like, maybe you don't see it super often, but it does show. Like, even in the original trilogy, he definitely is like that. I had your door dusted for prints. I didn't, Harv. My door? What for? Come on, I bet you didn't find anything. You sure are good at wasting time. You're right, I didn't find anything. And definitely not Miss Bird's fingerprints. Oh shit, boys and girls. We're hearing peak right here. Her prints? What do they have to do with anything? Yeah, exactly, Hyper. Yeah, he's very blunt as well, in general. Let's put it this way. If she really was the one who opened your door, then her prints should naturally be on the doorknob she touched. Further, all of the prints on my office door's knob have been wiped clean off. I can only assume it's because Miss Bird's fingerprints were on it.
Objection!
But it doesn't change the fact that I was in my room the entire time. Is that really a fact, or is it fiction? Hey, would I lie to you? Yes, you would, actually. I have here proof that you were not in your room the entire time as you claim. I think... Oh, yeah.
Take that!
This is a note that the victim left for you, Mr. Portsman. A note? It was left under your door, or did he not notice? And right here it says, but you're out. You were not in your room when the victim came to call on you. So then, where were you and what were you doing? Got him. Don't you think it's time you gave up your charade? We know you stole into my office with the intent of stealing something from me. And Detective Faith found you out. Possibly because he heard sounds coming from a room whose occupant was on leave. Mr. Portsman, you killed Mr. Faith to silence him. And I had the misfortune to return when I did. You had to threaten me as you escaped. As I said when you had the gun to my back, no one gets away with committing murder in my office. And just what's so funny, pal? Well, that look of stiff seriousness on the face of this office's finest prosecutor, as he makes a huge mistake in accusing me, is simply too much to bear. There's just nothing else like it in the world. What? Mr. Edgeworth just explained it all, and he even backed it up. You're the murderer. Stop trying to be slippery and just admit to the crime already. And as I said earlier, it's all so circumstantial, so full of conjecture. You say you checked my doorknob for prints? Well, I can readily confess that I had wiped that doorknob down as well. I'm a little obsessive-compulsive, you see. I didn't want to touch a doorknob that you had touched. Which is why I wiped the knob down as soon as I could after you opened the door. After that, it makes perfect sense that only Jim's and my own prints would be on there. You made that up just now, didn't you? Furthermore, as for the note Jim left for me, do you know exactly when that was? For all we know, he could have left it before I arrived at the office. Like early evening, for example? Are you saying you failed to notice a note in your doorway? Hey, even geniuses fail at times. I was probably too preoccupied by work-related matters, although that's no excuse. Now that's just a flat-out lie. There's no way you didn't notice a note that size. But you can't prove that, can you? Say something, Mr. Edgeworth. Back me up here, sir. Yo, Dylan, it is out, yeah. Yo, Pianta, hope you're doing well as well. Portsman makes a good point. I can't prove that he didn't simply overlook it. Besides, I have an airtight alibi. Airtight, you say? I only just realized I had one as we were talking. I guess it would have been better for all of us if I had told you sooner. Here we go again. If memory serves, you came back to this office at around 2 AM, correct? And it was then that you had that unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit. But exactly at that time, I was down in criminal affairs. Ask around, I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. It's the perfect alibi. Do you really think it's that perfect? Like I said, I don't care. Ask around all you like. You'll see for yourself. Detective Gumshoe. Sir, yes sir, I'll go check out his alibi, sir. Be right back. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, I think we're in trouble. It's just like Mr. Portsman said. The guys down at Criminal Affairs say they saw him at around 2 AM. You see? All of the evidence points to him being the culprit. So there must be a contradictory point in his alibi somewhere. Okay.
Hold it!
You're correct, it was around 2 AM. Are you sure? It really was important to me that you were on spot at the time. I remember checking my watch then, and make no mistake, it was 2. Alright. It was then he had that unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint. Wait. Is he supposed to know this? Is that it? I'm not too sure, actually.
Hold it!
It is as you say, however. Yes, however, you're the only one who claims to have bumped into the culprit. So tell me, did you see the person's face? Was it me who you saw?
Objection!
Man, this guy talks a lot.
Hold it! Hold it!
We did go and ask about the testimony. It was just as I said, right? Right. Impossible. Oh, we probably had to just press everything. He actually does have the perfect alibi. What's wrong? Why the sudden sullen look on your face? Can't you say anything back, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we've reached the end of that line and it's time to get off this crazy train. You there. Sir, please escort the young lady out, but remember, be gentle. Maggie. Detective Gumshoe. Is there nothing I can do? There must be a way to turn this situation around. If only I had a clue. Did I miss something that can help me cast doubt on his alibi? I need to calmly think this through one more time, and with logic. The intruder I met could not have been Portsman. There were 2 bullets left at the scene of the crime. One that robbed Mr. Fate of his life, and one that nearly robbed me of my jacket. However, the murder weapon only shows signs of being fired once, meaning that it is entirely possible that a second gun was used in my office tonight. But seeing as how the killer had to steal Mr. Fate's gun, I doubt the killer had another gun up their sleeve. Therefore, the second gun could have been the property of an entirely different person, which could mean that there was another person who paid a visit to my office tonight. Supposing there was yet another visitor tonight, that would also resolve the issue of why my shelves were appended twice. We know that the shelves were disturbed once before and once after the murder, so it shouldn't be much of a stretch to think that it was the work of 2 different people. Once by the person who stole the victim's gun and then killed him with it, and once again, after the murder by a second culprit. Who was the owner of the second gun? If we suppose that the second culprit's gun was the one that was pointed at my back.
Objection!
Mr. Portsman, it seems that I need to amend my assumptions regarding this case. Great, so you finally come to your senses. Mr. Edgeworth. Sir, what are you saying? This has been a big misunderstanding on my part from the start. I had assumed that the person I ran into was the killer, but that may not be the case. What do you mean? The person I ran into was just your average thief. A thief? But sir, doesn't that cause some sort of contradiction in the facts? Not at all. It simply means that the killer was someone else. And it means that in actuality 2 culprits stole into my office tonight. I actually forgot about this completely. I forgot it was just Jack. If I had a 500 kilogram of gold every time Maggie was a suspect for murder, I would have 2 tons of gold. Yep. Leon, who do you think is the hottest prosecutor? I don't know. There are several candidates. What do you mean 2? It explains both why my shelves were disturbed twice and how there were 2 guns. Oh, announce the truth. Mr. Portsman shrieked Miss Bird and gained entry into my office.
Objection!
Now you're just leading the argument. You still don't have any actual proof, you know. If you could please go along with my hypothetical scenario for now, Mr. Portsman. In the end, if you really are innocent, you should have nothing to worry about. Now then, returning to my scenario, Mr. Portsman was out to steal something from me, which is why he checked my secret safe and ransacked my shelves. This is the first time. So then, this would be when the files were put back in the wrong order, right? Correct, and then, just when he was about to look somewhere else, who should walk in but his own partner, Mr. Faith? But why did Mr. Faith come into your room, sir? He probably had business with Mr. Portsman, which is why he was in the area. But that's when he noticed sounds coming from my office that would be... from the office would be my guess. Oh, because you were supposed to be away, right? And he must have thought it was odd, so he came into the office to check it out. Correct. And as a detective, that was the right thing to do. But when he came in, he found his own partner standing there. Because it was Mr. Portsman, Mr. Faith probably let his guard down. But Mr. Portsman was not so merciful as to let him leave alive. He waited for a chance and stole Mr. Faith's gun from him, and then... he killed him. He silenced Mr. Faith for catching him in the act of stealing. Our friend sure is sweating a lot. This was the moment in which the first shot was fired, the one that landed in my files. Following that, Mr. Portsman wiped the gun down and left it behind as he made his exit. He could afford to do that because he also had left the fake dying message behind. You're such a complicated troublemaker, you know that? Well, if things were as simple as that, then all would be solved. However, there was yet another visitor to my room, and this is where it gets complicated. There was another visitor, sir. Yes, and this other person's objective was also to steal something from me. Now then, even after Mr. Portsman left, the door to my office remained unlocked. However, this new visitor had no way of knowing that, and so... they stole the master key from the security guard's room, and then entered my room and searched through my shelves. This was the second time they were disturbed, and it seems the thief found their prize. The stolen 0 file, right, sir? Correct. Only just as the thief was about to leave with the file, I appeared. The thief then threatened me with their own gun and made their escape. The second bullet was fired during that brief encounter. So the shelves getting messed up twice and the 2 bullets was all because 2 different people were doing those things at 2 different times. Precisely. So now do you see, Mr. Portsman? The person I met was just a thief and was not, in fact, Mr. Fate's killer. Your alibi for the time frame in which I ran into the other person is now irrelevant. Because we now know that the murder took place during the first culprit's visit.
Objection!
Ha 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 ha. What's so funny, pal? Absolutely splendid. Your scenario explains everything. Of course it does, it's Mr. Edgeworth after all. But you know, it still doesn't change the fact that it's all circumstantial. Yeah, Kieran. Is this the new Yakuza side story? Yes, welcome. Sorry, this is Judgment 3. Supposing if, and that's a big if, your theory is right, would indeed render my alibi, which has withstood scrutiny, mind you, irrelevant. But there is still one defining point of your argument for which you have no evidence. Your supposition that I was the first visitor. Mr. Edgeworth, you can't let him get away with that, sir. But he has a point. I have absolutely no proof at this point. Don't say that, sir. I don't believe this. Don't worry, Maggie, I'll do something if I must. You know something? I find your attitude to be somewhat peculiar, Mr. Edgeworth. If the person you met really was a plain old thief, then why is that person not your main suspect? That is, if your theory is correct. Yeah, Ide. You're coming? That thief you ran into should be your real suspect, wouldn't you say? We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby. I hate to repeat myself, but as I already said, I was training in my room. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down at Criminal Affairs. So I can't be expected to know what happened around here after I left. Presto, yeah. So you think we should be out there looking for the thief? Of course, now isn't the time to be having these dead-end discussions. I don't think it's all dead-ended. I find your alibi to be fascinating. Let's continue where we left off, shall we? By the way, there's a first 90 minutes gameplay of Silent Hill 2 Remake, but it's by a Japanese streamer. Oh, I had a live stream show up earlier. I think that was it then. That's really awesome. I can't believe we have a month left. I'm so excited. I know he's lying. I know he was here at the scene of the crime. I just have to find a way to prove it. Okay. Training in my room.
Hold it!
But according to Mr. Fate's notes... Hold on, I thought we already cleared that up. Didn't we say that Jim left that note for me in the early evening? If you have proof that he left it at a different time, say just before he was murdered... I don't have any, no. You see? Okay. Wait.
Hold it!
Do cases not go to court in both spin-offs? No, actually. You do the cases outside of court before they go to court, but you don't actually do them in court. So you basically build your case before the official process. That's how it is. Why didn't you go there with Jim, Mr. Faith? It's because he said he was tired. Okay. You know those sofas in the hallway? He likes to sleep on those. It's one of his habits. And what of the evidence he brought? They were things related to yesterday's case. Just 2 items. A gun and a pendant. Interesting. This piece of testimony seems too crucial to let slip through the cracks. He brought me 2 items, a gun and a pendant, that are related to yesterday's case. Okay, so... I'm guessing you don't fight defense attorneys in court on this... No. It's funny because you're doing the defense attorney's part, even though you're playing as a prosecutor. But yeah, you have to clear people of charges.
Objection!
No? Gun and a pendant. Yes, this gun, which was the murder weapon. And this pendant, which belonged to the victim. And why were you taking them to Criminal Affairs? There was something in a past case file I wanted to compare these two to. But all this has nothing to do with this case right now. Anyway, I believe you'll find the long paper trail I left to your satisfaction. This is all matching up with what Detective Gumshoe found out.
Hold it!
Oh, the note. Thank you. Right, so the note... 3 pieces of evidence.
Objection!
Thank you, chat. What would I do without chat? I would be a miserable failure streamer. That's what. Only 2 pieces. I believe the proper phrase here is, you fail. Excuse me? You fail as a prosecutor, Mr. Portsman, as you intend to keep evidence hidden from me. Oh, shit. What are you talking about? I haven't hidden anything from you. Well, here's a piece I think you should read. Carefully. It says that Mr. Fate was bringing 3 pieces. Yes, and this is the victim's real dying message to you, Mr. Portsman. I can't believe. To get tripped up by a simple arithmetic. Where is the missing piece of evidence? It's... You have it, don't you? Only the guilty would make such a face. Detective Gumshoe, you don't have to say it, sir. I'll pat the guy down from head to toe. What? Don't come any closer. I'm warning you. This is all part of the investigation, pal. So don't even think about stopping me. No! Hey, what's this? He had this on him, sir. Despite what you said, it would appear that you do have something to hide. Yeah, pal, capitalized. But why would he hide something like that? There's only one reason why anyone would hide evidence of this caliber. Because it would unequivocally point to that person himself as the real killer. Let's examine this videotape in a little more detail. For the section of the tape that will drive the last nail into his coffin. KG8 incidents. And there's blood. The KG8 incident? That's a police case number, sir. Oh, that's blood, isn't it? Yes, and I believe this is what the good prosecutor was trying to hide from us. This blood is still fresh. You mean this might be Detective Fade's blood? No! You got it all wrong. Huh, no amount of denial can save you. We have but to run a blood test to find the truth. You told us that you had received evidence from the victim earlier. Now you will tell us when and how did the victim's blood find its way onto this video? Yeah, it's totally suspicious. Was it at the moment of his death? Did Detective Fate have this videotape on his person knowledge when he killed him? You know very well that there's no way to prove that. Not even if we were to examine this tape for fingerprints. If I had to take a guess, I'd say that the only ones on here would belong to the murderous you and Mr. Faith. No, impossible. Oh no, bro's losing it. Whoa, bruh. Well, he's dead. Almost 6 a.m. Mr. Portsman has been placed under arrest for the murder of Detective Buddy Fate, sir. Very good. And the results we got back from the lab techs on the tape turned out to be real solid, sir. The blood work came back and it was definitely Mr. Fate's blood on there. And as a bonus, they were also able to lift a few of Mr. Fate's fingerprints as well. Thank you so very much, Mr. Edgeworth. Still can't believe I got to see your cool deduction skills outside the courtroom. I'm impressed beyond words, sir. It was nothing. I'm just sorry you got caught up in a murder in my office. Please accept my apologies. Oh, it was nothing, really, compared to what I've been through. I mean, I consider myself lucky that I was only a burglary. I hate this word. Burglary. A theft. Fuck this word. Theft. And a murder this time, sir. If it had been a hold-up or hostage situation, I'd have thrown my hands up in the air. I think I'm finally rising up from a goddess of misfortune to just an unlucky person. Something tells me we should have hired a different person for security detail. You know something, sir? That Mr. Portsman really was one corrupt prosecutor. And why would you say he was corrupt? Well, I heard there was a number of suspicious things related to his court cases. There's even rumors about how some of the evidence he uses is forged, sir. Forged evidence, huh? And they say he even decided not to prosecute a few cases for some really vague reasons. Oh, that guy was a complete disgrace to the entire profession. We never did get around to asking what his reason was for breaking into my office. Yeah, whenever we got near that topic, he just climbed up. Although we can be pretty certain that it was to steal something. This is just between you and me, sir, but there's a rumor that some sort of huge organization is involved behind the scenes. Oh? Well, well. With Mr. Portsman not willing to divulge anything, it certainly lends credence to the rumor. It would seem that we haven't heard the last of this. Huh? Then Mr. Portsman isn't the bad guy? I didn't say that, but rather that there are still many more mysteries for us to solve. For example, we still haven't figured out the significance to this piece of evidence. The safe, I guess, was it?
Take that!
Or maybe the missing papers, actually. Oh yeah, they brought it up. The person who stole this file, the other villain of the night. Yeah, I wonder who it was. And what happened to the stolen pages. I wonder, who in the world was it that held me up at gunpoint? Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Yes? I came across this while I was processing your office earlier, sir. This card. What is it, sir? Is that a bird or something on there? It's not just any bird. It is the mark of the raven, a three-legged raven. Even you should know what this is, detective. Oh, it's about that thing, isn't it? The great thief everyone's talking about? Yes, it's the mark of the great thief Yatagarasu. Under the mark of a legendary bird, the Yatagarasu is noble to the end, a modern Robin Hood. Mercurial News, Special Edition, Yatagarasu haunts embassy. The noble Yatagarasu, a vigilante of the business world, reappears. Labeled mysterious and phantom-like, the Yatagarasu appears and vanishes at will. Though we don't know much about this thief's ultimate goal, we do know the targets. Corporate dealings exposed. The Yatagarasu likes to find and make public evidence of corrupt dealings and of all sorts. The theft is always performed in silence and always with perfection. Once the target is chosen, no dramatic calling card or announcement is sent forth. Instead, the chosen corporation is infiltrated without even the target noticing. Some days later, the evidence that was found is sent out to the mass media, along with a single card. Although it has been a while since the Yatagarasu's last appearance. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, look, something's written on the back. What? Let me see. It's the location of where the thief put the stolen files. So the person who stole the contents of the file was the Yatagarasu? Organization. Quite a few keywords are popping up in this mystery. The murder in my office. The return of the great thief, Yatagarasu. Looking back, I can't say I didn't see these events coming. Or they were heralded by the incidents that began to occur 2 days ago. John Yatagarasu, yeah. The end, fellas. That's case 1. I think there's 5 cases in this game. Okay, I don't think I mentioned this yet, but I'm not going to be finishing this game anytime soon. I did say this before, but I just finished a long game, and it fucking murdered my algorithm. But I did want to play this game eventually. So I will come back to this at some point, but not now. I want to focus on other stuff. Stuff that isn't like super long like this one. Like, if I were to stream a game, for example, that's not Yakuza, I don't mind that. Just a shorter game. But yeah, for longer games like this one, like, you know, games that take 5 streams or more, I'm gonna hold off on those for some time. But this game came out today, and I wanted to share the joy for that of that. So if you guys were interested in this and you had no idea this came out today, it did. So, you know, if you buy this game, I really hope you do enjoy it, because it's a lot of fun and the story is really good, especially for the second game. So yeah, if you haven't played this yet, high recommend. Give it a try, and you're gonna love it. Any other streams in the future, Mahjong? I will try. So at the moment, I'm recovering from like a stiff lower back. It's still not fully recovered, but you know, it's getting a lot better. So streams, I might hold off on those for like a few days. But in those, like, you know, in the days that I don't stream, like I said, I'm working on a video. The same video that I've been talking about since I was at the end of Kuro, or Daybreak. That video is shaping up to be over half an hour, just a bit over half an hour, like 33, 35 minutes. So it's gonna be a very intriguing watch, I hope. It's gonna be like... I want to say it's gonna be like a new kind of video, in a way. I don't know. I don't know if I can say more. You guys will see. But yeah, I'm really excited to push that video out. I think you guys will like it. And yeah, we will see what comes next for the channel. Don't stress your back too much, old man Leon. Great. Now they look at me like Van from Daybreak. Old man, he says, huh? Is that how it is? Okay, hold on, let me save. Alright, people. I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. This was a lovely, lovely little stream. And I'll see you very soon, fellas. Very, very soon with a video, or maybe even a stream. Who knows? Take care, people. Bye-bye now. Is it a Trails video? No, I can't say that much. It's not a Trails video. But I do want to make a Trails video, so maybe I will at some point. Anyway. Bye-bye now, people.